to another average angler video. We're at Acorn once again, and can you believe it, we're only going to draw on PEG21 again. I don't know what it is about this bridge, but I seem to be on either side of it almost every week this year. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, got just under 20 anglers fishing today. So turn out, I've got about 15 minutes, just be thinking about putting keep nets in the next couple of minutes. I'm all set up, ready to go. I've got the wind blowing from my right to my left, and it's blowing scum into this corner, which is going to make that corner unfishable, but it's probably going to help me fish shallow, because I'm going to try and fish shallow sort of half to 3/4 of the way over, flicking a rig into that scum perhaps, probably catch there. I've got a margin line, not margin lines, look like the margin, but bottom of the slope, and bottom of, if you look at my platform here, I'm actually fishing like bottom of the slope just about here, so the bottom of the slope's just there. And then I've got shallow lines set up into the bank there, and over on the far bank I've got a bit of mud bank. I've got a rig that goes into there, and I've got some reeds to the right, so I'll be flicking pellets over there, maybe some carp will come from slurp, and I'll catch them shallow. But I can flick straight up against that mud, I can flick hard against that mud, and it will just hit the mud and drop in. So I know I'm not, I'm not going to worry too much about accuracy when it comes to if the pellets overshoot a little bit, it don't matter, because there's nowhere for them to overshoot to. But I don't mind if they go right and left a little bit anyway, because if they get into this grass, and I'm hoping to get a few carp, come and slurp, and I can have them. So I've got options. I've not gone down the middle into the deep water. I feel like it's going to be a shallow day. I bumped a few fish plumbing up, and they've all been shallow. I've had a few signs of fish in this scum here. You can just about make it out on the camera there. It's like a hazy piece, it's quite scummy. But the carp will like that, they're getting there. Maybe I'll just slap a rig into there at some point without even feeding it. I don't know, I might just feed away from it a little bit, because if the wind eases it will come out. I don't want to get to a point where I can't fish over my feed. So there we are. I'll be starting short, just dropping in some 6mm. What I generally do at Acorn is I use these 6mm for fishing short. I don't know why, but I've had good success with these. These are the swim stim 6mm, and then for fishing shallow I use the Skretting 6mm. And what is interesting, if you look at that, is the size difference between a Skretting 6mm and a swim stim 6mm. The swim stim's close to 8, and the Skretting's closer to 5 in reality. So it's kind of like two different sizes. I've also brought with me some of the expanders, which you've seen me use before here. I won't start using them, but if I feel like it's one of the days where they're going to really come up and sit in the, this has got a little bit of liquid, I can't remember the name of it. It's like a Spodnix stuff for spodding, and it just leaves a cloud in the water, and I've soaked the pellets in it, so that when I feed them out, it seems to make the carp sit in the upper layers. That's when they want to be really, really shallow. But I've done some because it cost me nothing, because it's just a few expanders. So they're the same thing there, but they're just the floaters, so they're for the hook. They're the ones that were floating on the top. And then I've got the trusty old the ship ones here, in different sizes. I've got some bigger ones done today, because I'll be fishing on the deck, and I like to put these in when I'm feeding these. I like to put these, you can get away with it at Acorn, there's not a lot of tiny little eyeballs and things, and if you do pick up silvers, it's usually like a nice size skimmer or a nice tench, or small sort of stocky carp, and they're worth catching anyway, so I'm not worried about picking up one of them up. It's not like Land's End, where I was swinging in a little roach and they were really costing me. So I've been chuntering for nearly 4 minutes. Let's crack into the match. See everybody in a bit. Bye bye. Right guys, the auling's just sounded. Pinged a few pellets over to the far bank where that grass was. I've thrown a few pellets out of my hand down the middle. And then I'm going to start by being very accurate on this shallow line. Sorry, on this short line. Feeding it very accurately. And fishing the pole, the rig over the top of it. So we've got 6mm gone in. I'm fishing it in 6mm expander over the top. Just going to see what we get. I'll give this 10 or 15 minutes if I don't get any indications, or if in an ideal world I'd catch on this for an hour while I'm building up the. In an ideal world I'd catch on this all match and win the match, but you know, what I'm hoping is a more realistic scenario is to catch on this well early, whilst building up these shallow lines, and then go out in the shallow and have some fun as well. A lot of people have gone either all the way over into the shallow water or fishing down the edge. Seeing what people do. A couple of people are fishing really tight in. Most other people are fishing straight over. Not many people gone on this line that I'm on. I'm purposefully sneaking bait in and not throwing it in because I feel like, oh, let's have that on the way down there. So I feel like too much noise and draw fish up, and I don't want to do that in this deeper water. There's carp probably right in front of me right away. Ooh, fish nearly pulled the elastic out of the pole. Out it there. So, I've been fishing 5 minutes, so I had one put. And that one put, I've learnt I've had a fish on the drop, take it on the drop. Tells me this fish up, I've had a fish start swimming around in this loose feed that I've put here. It's not where I need to get that more accurate before I lose my own mind, but yeah, and then a hook, so you can see fish feeding right over there where I've been pinging in baits. So I've got lots going on in my swim, but also on the planned line down here I've just basically had something pull the elastic out, or nearly pull the elastic out so it could be higher. I'm just holding the pole on the joint there because I feel like that's just a nice distance from where I've plumbed it. I'm letting the rig set in, it's bulked to the rig, so I'm letting it just swing in because it's on a slope, slight slope. And I'm just dragging the flow once it's settled slightly to the right of where I've fed. So the hook bait is up the slope a little more than so the hook bait's just dragged up the slope a little. It's definitely on the deck, and the line's on the deck, so it's out of the way for liners and things. I'm just waiting for positive indications. That was a very positive indication. I suspect it was a fish and I just missed him. Missed another indication there, just looking away. There's definitely fish down there. What they are isn't interesting. There could be skimmers. A lot of the time you get good skimmers in this place and they give you really sharp bites, and you miss a few and you hit one. You get lovely sort of 1.5 pound skimmers sometimes. Again, I'm hoping it's quite windy here today, guys. I'm hoping the wind isn't affecting the camera too much, the audio too much today. I'm missing a few bites already making me think these fish are shallow. Or they're not the fish I'm targeting, because you just don't miss bites on this setup when it's proper. They get that expander in their mouth. You just have it. Look, I'm far into the match reel. Let's have a look on the watch while I play this fish. Just over an hour in. I've got 12 pounder carp in the net. That's 2 carp or 3 carp it might be. Not really been able to catch consistently from any one spot, but I've just lost that one. So he was probably hooked, no doubt about it, because he just basically hooked himself. Really annoyed about that. So I've just caught him tapping down the middle, like I've done on previous videos. Just really short rig. Just drop the float into the water, tap the pole next to it. When the float is under, just strike. And they're on. Normally, sometimes because it's such a short last, they pull down and hook themselves. So I've been catching. I've been pinging pellets over to the far bank, and there are fish over there. I'm just going to keep doing that, because if they start slurping up in the water, then they'll be catchable on this same rig as well. I'm really gutted about that, because that was an 8 pound fish. That was. So I need to take my time a little bit more and stop trying to pull the heads off. It's a really slow day, and not a lot of people catching. A couple of people having fish from what you might consider to be the flyer pegs, 5 and 9 and places like that, 5, 9, 11, but the rest of us are struggling. So I'm just going to stick with this. I'm going to wait a bit longer than I have done in the past for bites on this setup, but that's kind of what you expect. You just put the rig in, tap away and just wait. And I'm going to reset the rig. So if there's anything thinking about it, just let it drop and fall in front of its nose. And that's it. And then if I do hook a fish, then I just feed on my lines while I'm playing it. And just repeat the process. Like I say, I'm not emptying it doing this at the minute, but it is early in the day, the sun's just coming out. I don't feel like anybody else is catching doing a lot of things, so tapping way past where I'm feeding it. So I'm out the back of the feed. As you can see, it's not exactly setting the world on fire. Like I say, I'm really gutted about losing that fish, because that would have put me on to £20 probably. Which in the first hour would have been good. That puts me on like £100 rate. I've been lucky one of them was a foul hooker from down the mountains, but you have to, you're going to foul up fish in these sort of venues, so you have to get lucky every now and again. And I'm just occasionally pinging bait over to the far bank, because I can see there's fish over there. Just really want to get their confidence up. Maybe I can push this rig over there eventually. Start having a few. Right, up to another one doing the same thing again. Just taking my time to do a bit more at the minute because there's no rush, because there's not a lot of fish coming out, so just have to make sure everyone counts at the minute rather than trying to bag up. Keep plenty of feed going in that zone. Just letting him come wallowing into me, this fish. I'm not pulling on him at all. Nice big commons by the looks of things. He's spooking a number of other fish that are in mussel at the moment, just because he can. And I'm coming towards us now. Just heard a carp slurping in the grass as well, which is the first one I've heard. Hopefully that's... could be that duck over there making weird noises, but I think it might be I'm slurping in the grass. So, you know, I've had this fishing by now, but he's still got plenty of energy, as you can see. He's a good 7 or 8 pounder, this one. We'll see. Hopefully we'll get him in the right way in a minute and that'll tell us what the weight is. Keeping the pole low, not putting too much pressure on him. After I lost that last one, I want to get my confidence back up. Just keep changing the angle and confusing him. Let's see, he don't like it when you lift him up. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I've landed 2 foul hookers and I've lost 2 proper hooked ones. I don't know what's going on today. Right guys, literally 3rd time looking out, another one. It's taking 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes between hooking fish. Just thinking about, you know, not bothering because it just weren't happening, and then boom, float goes under and there's one on. This one came out of the water, so I think he's pretty sure he's a mirror, but we'll see in a second. Well, hopefully we'll see in a second. We thought we were going to catch the last couple and we never did. It's right in under the pole tip at the minute. I don't know why he's decided to come in here, but he likes it. He's like decided to swim in here. Oh, missed him. I'll try and scoop him. No, he's just... This is the sort of size that I want to catch. So I'm flipping him over here. That's it. Oh yes, they're the size we want to catch. Now I've lost 2 of these. So we'll see what this weighs and then we'll know how much weight we've just lost in 2 fish. Looked him fair and square in the mush like the other 2. We definitely lost fish that works fairly. Eight. So you can basically say we're 16 pound behind where we should be. Right, I just noticed that my camera's all misted up, so I want to sort that out. See you in a bit. So I've got another couple of fish sort of slapping down the middle. Not slapping, tapping down the middle. Just waiting for one to come and grab the hook bait obviously with some feed, and then I've been pinging up that far back, but what I noticed was I didn't want to slurp, so I just started pinging to the right a little bit where there's some grass, and just noticed that's one slurping in the grass, so I just pushed my little dibber right over the top of his head, an expander, and he just sucked in and had it. So They're not quite as big as the ones down the middle, but which means I've got another swim that's producing. The ducks seem to be verbally giving me lots of grief over there. This one's going to be about 3, I'd say, yeah. Puts me on 31. Probably not doing too bad around here. Bagging up. The guys on the flyers don't seem to be bagging up. It's hard to say because you've got your head in what you're doing, but I've seen a carp. And I've been throwing some pellets into the grass down here to my right as well, where it hangs over the bank, just to try and see if I can get some fish slurping down there as well. I did see one while I was playing that fish, but I think he's gone now. Distract these ducks for long to get some bait into the reeds. Because this middle line's not producing very much, I've got another line that can go to every now and again. That'll be a beauty. So if every now and again I see a fish slurping over and bang, I can just grab my extra 2 sections, push over and see if I can pick him up. Because this slapping down the middle is very, very slow. But it does pick up intermittent fish, and you're catching fish from 4 to 8 pounds, which is a nice size. You just sit here, you look like a right muppet because you're just tapping, but you're catching, which is more than a lot of people are doing. People chopping and changing methods, which I did for the first sort of 10 or 15 minutes. I was chopping and changing because I've got a few things that have been working up here the last few weeks, like this being one of them. Fish slurping in the grass being another, and then catching short is something that's always worked on and off at this fishery. So just missed a bite there. So I'll just chopping and changing around, trying to work out which one was going to be the one today. It seems that slapping down the middle couldn't get them slurping over, but I think I made a mistake of trying to get them slurping up in that hard bank, and they're not going to slurp up there. There's nothing to hold something to hold the pellets up so I can get into the bottom. So you can't come and feed them because I think they're safe. And you just drop a little shallow rig in that looks like the pellets are suspended off the bottom. It looks like it's hung up on something, even though it's not. It's just hanging there in the water, and they just suck it in thinking it's a safe one. They're on. Right guys, girls, it's 3 hours in, 1 o'clock nearly. I've got £50, probably got £50 in the bag. I'm catching the odd one down the middle tapping, and then I'm going over and catching the odd one up against the reeds. Both the same rig, both about 6 inches deep, just a little dibber 6 inches deep. Either push it into the reeds over the far bank or just slap next to it in the shallow water and something comes up and grabs hold. Seems to be able to put a run of fish together now. I had about three in a row over slurping in the grass when I first went over there, and I thought, oh, that was going to be me for the day then, but then they've got spooky, so I've had them to come off it, feed them while I'm on this line. And then the same with this line, you get one and then they get spooky. So I'm going to try alternating now, see what happens. It's a nice fish, that one. I'd say he's coming up as... I think he's a bit bigger than that. So I always forget that you guys are still on. So I'll have another quick look tap in just before. There's a lot more fish sort of slurping around the top now. So, I haven't been doing much talking, but you saw what happened there, slapped a little bit. Again, I forgot that the cameras were rolling, but slapped a little bit, and I've had one. Maybe things have changed slightly, because it's got harder over. It has got harder over to catch them, slurping in the grass. Maybe now they've decided they're coming in here. So just feed all the lines again before we go back out. So what I've been doing, don't really want to get the pouch wet because that bird is just pinging pellets into the grasses over there. And go down the grasses down here. Might see some water. I'm going to try the open water. I'm going to give it 5 minutes to open water, and then if that don't work, I'm going to go over where I can see one slurping. Might be able to pick up on the camera, I don't know. I see one slurping over there now, you can probably hear him. He's very tempting, but by the time I put another section on, he'll probably be moved away. So I'll just wait. Let him build some confidence, so let him get a few freebies, and then when he eventually sees my pellet, he'll be gagging for it. going to keep slapping because I can see a carp coming towards the rig, and if he doesn't come and have it, then an absolute big bertha there. One's had it, there we are. One's finally had it, it's not a very big one, I don't think. He's a zoomy. He's a zoomy. Hi guys, 2:30, hour and a half to go. Got about £90 in the bag, something like that. It's definitely, I've had a good hour and a half, but it's definitely started to slow now. Just having another go at this slapping line. I've not caught much doing this the last few times I've tried it. Seems to have finished whatever's going on here. These tapping lines, it's not working. I'm picking up odd fish over still in amongst the grass, but they seem to be smaller stamp now, like £2-pounders. So I've got plenty of bites, but it took a lot of more work to build a weight up. These fish that you catch doing this slapping that I'm doing here, this tapping should I say, they tend to be doubles or £8-pounders should I say. Oh, something grabbed that then and didn't hook itself. That's a chance missed. So I think we're definitely having a look at that then. So I missed my chance there, and another one's at it. So there's a few still there, which is nice. But I've not took a fish off this line for a good 45 minutes now, so this boyo's very energetic, so it's probably another small one. I'm hoping he's a really angry big one, but he's probably just a small one. So they've been flying off, I was saying that he's belting off this boyo. Might be a better fish. I don't know why that tapping technique works for these bigger fish. I think this is a bigger one. I don't know why it only works for these bigger fish, or it seems to single out the bigger fish, but it does. That bank there, where I've got the fish sort of slurping in the reeds, you do get the odd bigger fish come, but you see them and you can just sort of put the rig near them and hope that they see the pellet and take it. But in the middle here, I mean, I've had a ghostie that must be £8, and I'm only fishing 6 inches deep, and I couldn't see it take the bait. And you'd think you'd see a ghostie 6 inches deep, especially when it's like £10 or £8 should I say, but you know, you just don't. Just spooked a fish shell around me geek nets there. So yeah, this will be the start of my third net. So I've been clicking up to about £50. I expect I'll only have 45 at the most in each net, with sort of overestimating the fish slightly with the right way I round them up, so I should always be a little bit over. So I've gone close to 50 on both of them, 48 and 49 I think, so always got wrapped around, but he's one of the nice comments. So lively today, these fish, they really are. I'm happy that I made that decision just to come off of that far back for a minute or two. I had two or three £2-pounders, and it was just starting to get hard to get a bite, and I didn't want to be waiting that long for a £2-pounder, so I thought I'd give it a rest, feed everything up. Have a quick look on the tapping line. Picked up another one. I see a couple of fish over there. I like to, when I'm looking at that far bank line where they're slurping, it seems to work best when there's more than one fish over there, so you get a bit of competition. So as soon as they see your pellet, they've got to have it. Can't think why is that pellet suspended 6 inches deep. What's wrong with it? They just have to go, there's a pellet, I better get that before Bob gets it. And they seem to have it. So yeah, this is a much better fish, and this will be £5 plus, so that's nice. Working far too hard, should just do that. Yeah, he's definitely more than 5. Maybe 5, maybe 6. No more than 6, I would guess. Let's see how good I'm at. If I was clicking him, I'll probably give him 6, but he's probably 5. It's 5 and 5, pretty much 5.5 to 5. Well, I'm back again after shortly. Hopefully you got that last bit of footage. I think the tripod cam might be switched off in the middle of that last bit of footage, or it might have missed it completely because I had a problem with the power supply falling off. I've gone back out and slapped on the slapping line and just had one straight away again. It's getting towards the end of the day. That's an hour and a half. Maybe this is going to come good. Now maybe this is just 2 fish and it's dead again, because that's what it's been doing all day, but you just don't know. I'm still feeding that. You can see how much bait I'm feeding because the ducks are following me everywhere, but I'm still feeding the far bank grass line. I'm hoping this is another one of the better fish that I've been telling you get on the open water swim today. It is, yeah. So it's been great having 2 areas of the swim to catch from today, because when one's just stopped you can just go and fish the other. That doesn't always work out like that. In fishing, sometimes you can only ever get one area of swim working. You've got to try not to plunder it too much and come off it, even though you know you can't catch anywhere else, just to give it a rest. But today I have been trying to get some fish slurping in the grass short as well, so that I could have perhaps catch late short, but I haven't seen any signs at all of fish coming in really. I've had a duck keep coming in and cleaning me out, which doesn't help though, to be fair. So there's another £4 in the bag, so we definitely around about the £100 mark now. Yeah, we're in and around that sort of figure, so I'm well happy with that, especially from this peg. And I think it's fishing really hard today, so that might get me in the frame today, because you know, obviously you've got Martin on peg 5, very good angler on a very good peg, so chances are that's not going to end well for me and everybody else. Apart from Martin, he's going to be a happy bunny. Certainly down this straight where I am, nobody's really having a field day. It's really been tough. My float is totally wrecked to the point where I've got no silicone left really. Just finishing weighing in now, guys. I've had 122 pound 8 ounces. It currently puts me third, but I haven't seen the other weigh sheet yet, so I might be third or I might be sixth or something like that. I don't know what the other side of the lake's done. I was only a few pounds behind second, but Bob down on PEG21 has walked it at 179, so well done to Bob. I'll put some more information on the screen about the final weights when I've got it. Just to recap the day, I've caught a lot of fish over here with slurping, and I've caught a lot of fish in the middle here tapping the pole. Tapping the pole, fishing 6 inches deep, just waiting for the fish to rip the elastic out really with a little dibber on, and then pushing the pole up into here where I've been pinging pellets, and just trying to pick off odd fish over there. I'd say I probably caught 60% of my fish from here, and maybe I've caught the same number of fish from both swims roughly, but these fish have been bigger down the middle, so it's probably more weight from the ones down the middle, but probably 50-50 on numbers.